Hello, my name is Ev from Vincent Music, and today we're going to be talking about scales. We'll only be looking at some major scales. So let's start with our half scales in major keys. So we've got our 5 scales here, our 5 half scales, and I'd like you to start by just playing those through. Remembering we don't want to spend too long in between each one, but make sure that we get our key signature correct. So all of our sharps and flats that are in at the beginning, make sure we play those in our half scale. So how don't you pause and do that now? Alright, hopefully that was all good. Now, let's talk about adding some other things to our half scales to make them full scales. So we don't actually need to read the whole scale because we have all the information that we need written here and also in our heads. So we already know G major, don't we? Can you tell me all of the notes in G major? Why don't you pause and then I'll give you the answer. So pause. Alright, so the notes in G major are going to be G, and then A, then B, C, D, E natural, F sharp, G, and then back down is F sharp, E natural, D, C, B, that's going to be natural, A, G. So every note is natural except the one that's written in the key signature in our music here. And it goes from that low G up to that higher G and back down, doing every note, of a letter in between, and then, like I said, flattened and sharped as written in the key signature. So let's now play all of G major. Okay, we don't need the music, so just playing from G up to that higher G and back down. Let's pause and do that now. Great, so that will sound something like you can slur or tongue as you like. The important part is going to be the notes today, not so much the articulation. So, that's our G major scale. We know our G major scale already. Let's look at the next scale that is in our half scales page. What note do we start on here? That's right, the first note is F. So this is going to be F major that we play. And so, let's look at our key signature. So that's our sharps and flats that's written on the side, just after the treble clef, before the 4/4, in between there. And what do we have written there? We have a B flat. So what that means is we're going to go through from F up to the higher F and then back down, playing every note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but just from F to F and back down. All of the notes will be naturals except for the one that's written in our key signature there, which is B flat. So why don't you pause now and go through all of the notes that you think it'll be. So F, remember, say if it's natural or flat if there's any question. So we're going to start with F natural, obviously, and then going up and back down. Pause now. Alright, so the notes will be F, G, A, B flat, C, just like it's written, and then we keep going, D, E natural, F, also natural, and then back down, E natural, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. So the first 5 notes are the first 5 notes in the half scale, and then we're just adding 3 notes on top, and then coming back down, and then it's all the same. So really it's a half scale, but it's a little bit more than half the scale. We only need to add those 3 notes on top. So let's now give it a go. Thinking about all those notes, every note is a natural except for our B flat, and for our, every note is natural except for our B flat. And going up from low F to the higher F and back down. Pause now. Alright, now I will play F major, and if what you played sounds a bit different, go back and figure out what note was different. every note is natural except for the B flat, which is written in the key signature. Now let's come to the next scale. So what note does it start on? It starts on a D, so that means we're looking at D major. And let's now look at our key signature. We've got two things written in there. What are they? Pause if you need to think. It is an F sharp and a C sharp. So in the half scale, we've already been playing the F sharp, right? So we've been playing our half scale. That third note is our F sharp. But as we add those three extra notes on top, so we have our A, and then what's going to be above our A? It's a B natural, and then above the B natural is a C sharp. So remembering our C sharp is just our pinky and no other fingers down. And then what's above C sharp? D. And then we come back down, because we've gone from low D, go up to the higher D, and then we come back down. So underneath the D will be C sharp again, and then B natural, and then A, G, F sharp, E, D, as written in the half scale. So now let's try that whole scale. So we've got the half scale that's written, then we're going to add those three notes on top as well, and come back down. Let's give that a go. Pause now. Alright, and it sounds like this. Yeah, you can slow or tongue. If you're slurring and or tonguing, take a breath wherever you need to take a breath. Yeah, those are our notes there. So every note is natural except for our F sharp and our C sharp, going from low D to high D. Let's now look at the next scale. So let's think, what is the first note of the next one? So this is the fourth one down. It's a B flat. So in our key signature, we've got, what do we have? We have B flat and E flat. So again, every note is natural except for B flat and E flat. Remember, we've gone now to F natural and C natural, because that's from the line before, and then this line is just B flat and E flat. So we have the first five notes of our scale, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and then back down, as is written. But then we're going to add our three notes above. So we have F, and then what's going to be above F? Above F is G. And what's going to be above that? We have A, and then what's going to be above A? It is B flat. Now, we haven't learned high B flat yet, but high B flat is like high A, in that it's the same as the one before, but we blow a little bit faster. So if we think about low A versus higher A, we use that same difference in our air to get from lower B flat to higher B flat. So let's start with the A, and now we'll do the higher A. If the higher A isn't working, go back to F and work up. So F, G, A. If you need to pause to get that A speaking well, do that now. Alright, now we've got that great A. Let's go to the higher B flat as well. So we have our A, and then B flat, just like lower B flat, but faster air. Have a few goes of that B flat until you can get it at that exact pitch, that higher pitch, 3 times in a row. Let's pause now. Alright, great. So let's now think about the whole context of the scale. We've been thinking about that higher B flat, but let's now put it into why we're doing it. It's so we can do our B flat major scale. So we start on the lower B flat, and then we go up all the way up to the higher B flat, and then back down. So remember, we've got our first 5 notes written in the half scale, but then we add our 3 notes on top as well. So if you want to pause and say out loud what all of the notes will be. So from lower B flat to higher B flat, back down to lower B flat. Pause now. Alright, so I will now say all of those notes just to double check you got it correct. So we start with lower B flat, and then C, natural, D, E flat, F, that's an F natural, G, A, B flat, and then back A, G, F, E flat, D, C, and B flat again. So now we've got all those notes. Pause and give that scale a go. Alright, and now I will play that scale. So yeah, that's what that scale sounds like, from that lower B flat up to that higher B flat. We've only got one more scale left on this page to learn today, and that is, what scale do you think it is? It is A major, because that is the note that that next half scale starts on A. So let's look at our key signature. What's in our key signature? So our sharps and flats. What is written there? We have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Remember, the fingering for G sharp is right hand pinky, and then on this hand, this pinky, 1, 2, 3, and our thumb as well. Just remembering our fingering for our G sharp. And we're going to need it, because we haven't needed it for the half scale, but we will need it for the whole scale, because we'll get to our G. So why don't you first say, pause, and think what you think all of the notes will be. So remember, we go from A all the way up the alphabet, up to the top A, remembering our sharps and flats, and then back down. So we've got 3 sharps we need to add here, going up, and then the same one's coming back down. So pause now. Alright, so those notes should be, we start with lower A, and then B, B natural, C sharp, D, E, E natural, F sharp, G sharp, and then higher A, and back down. So to G sharp, F sharp, E natural, D, C sharp, B natural, and then A. So the half scale, but then we add our F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, and then back down as written. So let's give that a go, playing that whole thing. Pause now. Alright, and this is what it would sound like. So that's what our A major scale would sound like as well. So we've now learned the full scale for 4 new scales today. So we already knew our G, then we've added for 4 new scales. So remember, it's like our half scales, but we add those 3 notes on top, and if we go based on the key signature, we go based on the key signature that is written at the beginning of each line. So let's practice this week all of those scales, the half scale and then the whole scale as well. So we get used to doing the whole thing. We don't need to read the music, just doing it from our brains, going through the notes and back down with our sharps and flats as written. All right, happy practicing.